Previously on Quest Friends Forever.
Once you left, Edric declared that the Petrichor Forest was more at risk than ever before. He ordered all the communities to close their borders to outsiders. He killed the other council members.
I want to create a dissent pamphlet and start distributing them with a meeting time for a meeting.
We'll meet at the Twisted Oak Tree.
A big, huge circle of forest guards start to close in around you.
I cast Charm Person on the guard approaching Ellie.
What are you doing there, Al? Well, Tilbin, this is just great. Emerging from the trees is another group of elves and druids. You now find yourself looking at what has to be about 100 Petrichor Forest residents.
At this point, I'm going to stand up on the cart, and I'm going to remove my hood. Tell Edric that change is coming. I'm back. I've seen what's happened. This is Edric's doing, and he will pay for what he's done. Please join me and restore balance to our forest.
And the crowd kind of parts to reveal Edric. Oh, child. You have no idea what you are in for. Come and see me.
Stephanie in the sky casts Skywrite. It says, change is coming. Edric sucks.
It is a few minutes later. It is now fully dark in the evening. The gang plus Barrymore is still at the Twisted Oak Tree. The citizens who showed up for the rally are still there. They have broken off into smaller groups, mostly kind of talking amongst themselves. Some of them are eyeing Stephanie a little bit. They're trying to be slick about it, like the side-eye thing, like, oh, she's not looking, but I'm looking. But it turns out charisma is not the strong suit of the forest residents. We have learned that from our time with Stephanie and Ellie a little bit. So they're not really being very slick. Some of them are eyeing Val the same way, like looking but then looking away, especially hard with Val because they're not sure when Val is looking at them. But
So he said the people are all sort of in smaller groups now?
Yeah.
Kind of talking amongst themselves. Val is running from group to group as fast as they can and just...
Hello.
And then to the next group.
Hello.
And then the next group.
Hello.
And then the next
Hello.
group. And just running around in a big circle trying to get every single group possible to make sure that everybody knows that Val says hello.
Despite Stephanie's proclamations that Val is cool and Val is chill and not to worry about it, they are still freaked out by you because this is something they've never seen before and never encountered before and not even something in their culture. So they kind of jump a little bit, kind of startled when you do this.
Okay.
No one's
so
like attacking you.
Once I make it back, circle back to that first group of people I said hello to, and I kind of pause and I realize that people are kind of eyeing me a little funny. And I realized, you know what? I just greeted them. I didn't, try to help them. So then I start again with that first group and...
How can I help you today?
And then to the second group.
How can I help you today?
Okay.
And
how
the third
can I help
group.
you today?
And
so
how can
Val,
I help you today? How can I help you today? How can I help you today?
While Val is making their connections, Stephanie, Ellie, and Jared, you are standing about 20 feet away from these clusters of citizens in your own little huddle. Barrymore is sitting on a nearby log. She's bandaging up the scrape she got on her elbows from when she lunged at Edric, but passed right through him. She seems to be muttering swear words to herself under her breath, just over and over. Just, motherfucker. Ellie frowns at this and breaks the silence, if for no other reason than to drown that out. And she looks around at the whole group and says, Edric knows we're here now. What are we gonna do?
I mean, we're going to kill Edelric.
Well, it's not his name, but...
I mean, we're not gonna...
We got to kill Edelric.
We just had this whole thing where we said that we weren't gonna kill him, I thought.
Oh, you know what? Okay.
We're gonna, do,
Well,
I mean...
Yes, but Elderberry's pretty bad.
Still not his name.
What? Eldritch. What? Edelric.
Sure, close enough, I guess.
Older.
Oh, I mean, we can totally, we can rough him up, but I don't know if that's a good look for us to go in there and do a murder like he just did to, everybody else, right? I feel like the people should decide what they want to do because, I mean, we're just here. We don't live here. This is not the bed that we have to... I mean, maybe I helped make this bed, but, what is Val doing? Val?
Do you hear from the far distance beyond the crowd?
Hello.
And then is it?
Hello.
It's getting a little closer now.
Hello.
Okay, almost there. And then shakoosh, crushes right through just a crowd of people, kind of pushing them back, stopping, turning around and going,
Ouch.
and then I come over to you guys and I say,
Sure thing.
and then I'm just waiting.
Hey, Val, could you not push people over? Like, these people are they don't understand you, and I feel like
Sure
that's
thing.
maybe not
Sure
a good
thing.
look. Okay, cool. Can you go help them up and make sure that they're okay? Or maybe no, actually stay here. No, I changed my mind.
The people kind of wave.
Val
They go,
turns around and runs
"We're
over
good."
to try to help them up.
Oh,
they,
my goodness.
They wave you off. No, we're good. Don't worry, we're fine.
They're okay.
Ooh.
Val, get back here.
So long.
And then I come running back over to you.
So, Edric
Uh-huh.
knows that we're here. I mean, he was gonna know eventually, because I mean, my whole big plan was eventually just to exist here. It wasn't much of a plan.
Ouch.
Thanks.
Well, I mean,
Thanks.
we're still here and we're still okay, so not a bad plan yet.
Barrymore, did you find anything out while you were off doing what you did? What'd you do? What's going on there? I'm a
She
leader.
Looks up for muttering, motherfucker. Looks up. Oh, yeah. I had to go get something. And she stands up off her log, and she walks back over to the tall grass where she emerged from to try to launch her surprise attack on Edric. And she pulls out a big wooden staff, and she says,
Oh, wow. So you ditched me for a stick.
"Hey!" She kind of laughs. She knows you're kind of being just being you know,
Being a grump.
just being a real grump. She sort of laughs. She's like, "Hey, this stick, as you call it, has been in my family for generations. Okay, this was my thing when I was here, and when I left town, I left it here, so no one could really it was a defining characteristic they could look for me on the road with, So I left it here, but I buried it, and so I had to go dig it up. If we're gonna have a chance against Edric, we needed this. Trust me.
Well, what does it do?
It's a staff of healing, so I can
Ooh.
mend wounds and heal people and stuff.
I look at her wounds right now. Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, I don't.
Uh-huh.
It's only got so much energy. You don't want to burn it all on a scrape. I'll be fine. I didn't lose any hit points or anything.
I cast Good Berry, and I give her good berries. Here you go. Maybe this'll
Wow, these are some good berries, she says.
There's some good berries. It's 1 HP for each thing.
I feel revitalized, she says.
Some?
I'll take a couple. So I grab a couple and
Ellie takes some.
I love that.
We need our energy, I guess, Ellie says, and takes some.
Val takes some,
Oh,
doesn't know what to do because Val doesn't have a mouth. So then, chikong, the back panel, the back compartment over where Val's upper back shoulders, I guess, would be.
yeah, your upper back shoulders. Yeah.
Prangs open, and then just shoves the berries in there, and then closes the latch.
How many?
3.
Okay, add 3 good berries to your inventory, and that is perishable. So, 3
Yeah, I
perishable
think-
good berries.
It'll help with the weed resin smell.
That's
coming
true.
from inside Val.
It's potpourri, if anything.
Yeah, if anything's gonna help.
So Ellie looks around again and says, "So are we just going right to the founder tree to get him, or
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, dear. No, thank you.
Val? No?
personally,
Oh, here
I
she goes.
feel. Wait, no.
Uh-oh.
Chosen one. I feel. Wait. Well, I don't.
Oh, my
Okay.
goodness.
Ellie just puts her hand on her cheek and just looks at you like, oh boy.
I mean, should we go liberate some of the towns?
Val interrupts
around?
you. Val, like a little kid tugging on mom's jacket kind of thing. Val interrupts you and to get your attention. Val tips backwards as if to look up at you and says,
Don't worry. You can trust me. I'm friendly and approachable.
and then Val gives you a big, like a kid hug where I'm only hugging one of your legs.
Thank you. And I pat Val very awkwardly on the top dome.
On the dome.
On the dome top. And then I realized I left a smudge there, so I can try to I try to like use like my my sleeve, and that's not working. So I use my shirt, and that's not, and it's just making it worse. So, and then I realized that there was still some like berry juice on my hand. So I'm just like gonna like slowly back away as if nothing happened. Okay. Like
Thank you
I
for
was
your
saying,
assistance. You've been a great help.
like I was saying, I feel like he knows we're coming, so he's going to be ready. So what if we have a town right now. You know, I feel like we should probably try to get some other spots on our side before going to the capital.
I have an
Maybe.
idea.
Ooh.
Is the crowd still there? Are they all hanging?
Yeah, they're all kind of chit-chatting and milling around. They're kind of waiting for further instruction now that
Okay.
they've sort of voiced their support for this resistance, so to speak.
Okay. So I look to the group, us, the small group, and I say, what if we convince them to come with us to spread the word and we just built this like humongous wave of resistance leading into the big bad guy, Elderflower?
Yes,
Still not his
yes,
name.
yes. I love this. This is kind of what I was saying, but you're so
Yeah.
much better at saying it.
So
I don't want to. We should ask them because I want to make sure. I mean, this is a big. It's a big ask, so consent is cool.
So I'm obviously talking out of character because I'm not in Val right now. But so you described the spatial relationship. All of the cities are in one big circle, and then in the very center of that circle is the capital, and the capital
Yes.
is where Eisenberg is located.
yeah,
Fantastic.
Right. Okay. So if you rally every town surrounding the capital, you've surrounded the capital with resistance fighters.
So seeing how this city reacted to me coming here, right? They like 2 guards fled and everybody else is like, yeah, we fucking got your back. Stephanie is thinking like, one, she doesn't want to kill anybody. That's not her place. That's not what she's here for. She's here to unify her people and to try to help them. And the greatest help that she can offer is that liberation. She feels like the people are the most important thing, as bad as Edric is and everything. More than anything, she wants to give these people their freedom.
and I'm sure if we were to go to those other towns, we'd meet a cavalcade of wacky characters.
Okay, so you want to just to confirm here, you want to go from community to community announcing your return to get people on your side?
We're building a resistance.
Because remember, not every single person in the forest feels like they are
Is
oppressed.
down with the sickness.
Right.
Right.
Jared handed out these flyers in 3 communities, and about 100 people showed up.
Mm-hmm.
So some of the people came, but not the entire population of Azalea, not the entire population of Rosewater, and he also went to Pothos, was the 3rd town. So not everybody is here. So this is definitely some kind of resistance. This is not a people waiting to be liberated necessarily.
Yeah.
Okay, so what if we have the people that are there right now go spread the word? Because everybody has family in the different cities and everything. So if they travel to a place where they often go or like go enough, it's not going to cause suspicion. And then they can kind of be like, hey, this is my experience. I've seen this person. Like, and then like in 4 days time or something, we're all going to meet up at this particular spot and we're going to go into Absalom.
So the 100 people that we have with us that are on our side right now, tell them to go back to their homes, to their communities, and spread the word that the Chosen One is back. Without you going out there and showing your face immediately and getting arrested and all that stuff, but put the word out there through word of mouth that the Chosen One is back, the Protector is back. Then we'll see where we are with rallying support from the different towns.
And the cops who we've already swayed, we can get them to go sway the other cops. So that way, by the time that we've rallied the communities, the only source of sort of like force resistance that is there, majority of them have been swayed, potentially.
Yeah.
In the same way. So there would be no obstruction, and we'd have the entire community on our side.
Yeah.
I feel like the goal is sure liberation, sure all of that. Right now, Stephanie feels like she has a duty to these people. Somebody is abusing them, whether or not they realize it. So gathering support is important because Stephanie doesn't believe in herself, but these people believe in her. So if she is going to stand up against this monster that she, like, I mean, sure, she talks a big game in front of him, but she clearly, there are some issues with, like, you know, some of the training that he has put her through and things like that. Like, she needs their support because she needs to see that people believe in her and that she came back here and she is wanted and she is needed to do this, because she doesn't want to do this if they don't want her there. So for her, it's a little bit selfish in needing other people to believe in her, but it's also her wanting people to see their own strength. I want them there with me when I go face Edric, again, because I don't necessarily believe in myself, but I feel like if enough people believe in me, and then, you know, I can be there and represent them.
So as this 45-minute huddle is happening with the four of you, or five of you, I guess, with Barrymore, the three teenage girls that have been sort of at the forefront of this group of resistance, you have since learned that their names are Nyland, Devereaux, and Zabornak. They approach the huddle, and the oldest one, Nyland, pulls at your sleeve, Stephanie.
Hello, hi, what's up? And I try to look friendly and approachable.
Clever.
Ouch.
Nyland says, "Oh, okay, we're ready. What do we do?"
Cool. So this is our plan. Also, thank you so much for helping and for helping organize. You women are great. Thank you. Okay.
Golden even.
All right. So we need some people to go back to the 3 towns and spread the word, because nobody knew I was here, but now y'all know. So we need people to know. We need some people to go to the other towns and spread the word, to kind of like preface, like, hey, remember that thing that you saw in the sky? That's the Protector is back. I will be making an appearance in these places, similar to how I did here. Some of the guards, hey, who's the guard guy? The guard charge person?
Al runs over. Well, hello there, Protector.
Hello.
And you too.
So I don't think like going through this is going to be good podcasting, like, again, because we just said the plan like 4 times, I think, right? So
montage.
Yeah, so montage. So this is how it's going to go down.
So Al tells his other guard buddies the plan, and they leave, and Al will stay with his new best friend, Val.
Hello.
Nyland, Devereaux, and Zabornak agree, along with Sari Jeinfeld, to take the lead on spreading the word back in Azalea and Rosewater, which you are currently in, as well as Pothos, the 3rd city that Jared visited. And with the deadline of 4 days to meet in Absalom.
Yes. And the plan is, instead of doing each town one by one, kind of how we grouped these 3 together, we'll group the others into like multiple groups. So that way we have like 3 days to do that and to plan, and then the 4th day we all meet.
Everyone's on board. Everyone is listening to the Protector. They want to do what the Protector says. They are here for it. They were here for it even when it was just a resistance with a human dude and a stack of harvest, and they are even quadruply on board for it now that the Protector is back. So, you're waiting till the morning to start this expedition?
Yeah, I'm fucking tired. Yeah. It's been a long... I mean, we find a place to sleep that's maybe not like here, because they know where we're at, but like...
The 3 girls say that they can put you up for the night. These are kind of your liaisons with this resistance group. So they are from Rosewater, and they can put you up. Cool. So they do that. So you wake up the next morning. Everyone's fully rested and refreshed. You are in a secret room in Zabornak's home that they have agreed to kind of stash you in. And it is time to begin the trek to resistance. So the next city, we've already established we have done Azalea, which was the first town, which was Sari Jeinfeld is from, so Sari's handling that. Rosewater, which you're in now, with the girls who can also handle that. And Pothos was the 3rd town, so some of the group of the 100 that showed up are headed there. The next stop on the liberate the forest tour 2021 is Whistleberry. Stephanie and Ellie and Barrymore all know that Whistleberry is not a super big community, but it is named for the berries that come from it, whistleberries, that are in abundance, that they kind of trade throughout the forest. So it's more of like a farming community where they mostly grow food and things like that. It's not so much one of the more advanced ones. It's pretty much where they grow food. So it's pretty...
agricultural?
Yes, thank you so much. It's a very agricultural focused community. So, tell me how you roll into this town.
Stephanie
Am
has
I wearing my leaves and shit again?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Of course you are.
Shake.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're back into our cognito.
Everyone gets their disguises again?
Back incognito.
Okay.
Cool.
So the center of Whistleberry, there's not so much like a town square like we've seen in some of the other communities. The sort of hub, I guess, of Whistleberry is a little bit more I was gonna say like a farmer's market, but that's kind of what everything is here. There's one really big barn. It's just this gigantic fucking barn where
Are they having a hoedown?
No, they're not having a hoedown. It's the early morning. Sometimes they have hoedowns, but that's only on Thursdays, and right now it's unfortunately Tuesday. So it's a really big barn. That's where they keep a lot of the horses, the oxen, all the animals they need for their agricultural needs. It's kind of also a post for people to buy and sell those animals that they need to harvest the berries and the food here. Like a petting zoo almost situation. A lot of hay on the ground, a lot of feed kind of just scattered. And there are a few elves up already this morning who are milling about.
Okay, here's the plan, guys. So we're gonna go in there. I'm not a good talker, so Jared, you should ask people like, "Hey, did you see that thing in the sky? What was that about? Like the change? What do you think that meant?" And depending on their answer, then I'll just be like, "It meant me, maybe. I don't know." But I feel like you should probably talk because I can't. I'm
Perfect. I love that. I'll get right in front. We walk right in. Again, how many people are kind of like wandering about?
We got about 24 right now.
24. I yell as loud as I can.
Classic.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed the Sky Show.
Some of them don't acknowledge you. There's or they kind of give you the stink eye, like, oh, what? Some of the older ones. But a few of them stop. Are we driving the cart, I assume? We drove the cart.
Yeah, like
Yes.
the cart's still rolling in. I'm like up on front of the cart,
Okay.
announcing.
Are the horses still armed?
Yeah, they look scary as fuck.
Okay, cool. I love it. So a few of them stop what they're doing. There was one leaning up against the barn, picking his teeth with a piece of wheat or whatever farmers do, and he looks up and he says, "Yeah, we saw it. Did you do that? What was that about?"
I think it had something to do about change on the horizon.
Yeah, is that like a political thing? What was that about? Edric sucks.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do we not agree that elderflower sucks?
He takes the wheat out of his mouth and he looks to the right and he looks to the left and he walks up to the cart. Like he does come here closer.
Yeah.
And he says, "Well, don't tell nobody, but I think Edric sucks too." And then he looks around very paranoid. Like,
And then Stephanie is gonna kind of like, now is this? I don't
are you
know.
doing your Strider disguise again, where you're just hooded and kind of looking down?
Yeah,
Or are
I'm
you a
like
badger?
hooded and
Okay.
I'm doing the Strider and I'm just
Okay.
kind of. I look up at Jared and I'm like, do I just say?
Yeah. Do it.
Ellie elbows you kind of in the ribs, like, "Come on, go."
Shake.
Is that a persuasive shake?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Sorry.
Shake. So, I did the writing and don't freak out. You have to promise not to freak out, okay? Don't freak out. And then
Why?
I kind of like peek out from under my hood and I'm like, I'm back.
He stumbles backwards, like he has just seen, like he's been startled almost, and he kind of grabs at his chest, and he's like, and he squints. Protector?
Hello. I mean, hello. Hi.
What is this? You're back, and you're changing? Are you? And he looks around again conspiratorially. He goes, "Are you taking over?"
Is this a safe place to talk?
he notices there's not really. He keeps looking around, but there's like nobody around. And he's like, "Yeah, I think we're okay if we whisper."
Yeah, man, I'm back, and we're doing it. We're gonna do it, and also, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And then she starts to tear up. She's like, "But like, we're gonna do it, man."
All right. This is more than I thought I'd get into on a Tuesday morning.
Happy Tuesday.
Yeah, I guess so. So, okay. Do you need me to like get my rake and like start some trouble, or what do we?
I need you to.
And that's the plan.
Yeah.
Okay. So this person is on board. They have already instantly been overjoyed at the appearance of you. They were on board for Edric Sucks. So they are going to now spread the word through this community, or are you going to reveal yourself to everybody now?
I'm going to ask, like, is it safe for me to, like, do people like Edric here?
I mean, it's like any community. It's a little hit and miss.
How very non-committal of the DM.
Can you bring people here? Bring them here. Bring them here. I'll show myself. They deserve to know I'm here.
And he goes, this is what the voice was supposed to be. He goes, Deborah!
Okay, now do it. Now do it in the voice.
Deborah, get everybody over here. And this person, this farmer with the wheat in their teeth, gets this 24 or so folk to surround the wagon. And everyone's like, oh, what is happening?
And then you hear shake, just in case. I don't know. They might be there for that.
Stephanie stands on top of the cart and says, "Okay, everybody, I wrote the thing." And she like takes off her hood and she's like, "Hi, I'm here. Let's
party.
Let's change things. Let's do this."
Gasps from this crowd of farmers.
But you don't. You
my,
guys are great.
Tarnation. Tarnation.
Always tarnation.
Always. Stephanie, go ahead and roll just a straight up D20 with advantage. No modifiers.
11.
That's the highest?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is successful. This group is on board. You see some people who are like a little hesitant because where the fuck have you been for 10 years? And do you want to not play through it, but do you explain kind of the same deal that you did at the last place?
I do the same thing. Yeah, I say, this is what's going on. This is where I was. This is exactly what happened. I'm really sorry. Please ask me all of the questions. I am for the people. So, yeah.
Okay. They're on board. Whistleberry is, at least this group of Whistleberry you have their support in this. And they say that this group of 24 folks will spread the word in this farming community.
Cool.
So since you were successful on your roll, you have similar success on day one in the community of Monstera and the community of Nottingwood.
Are they British there?
No, they're elves.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, is it called nodding with a K? So like everything's all tangled?
Yeah, you got it. See?
Is that right? Is that real?
It is now.
Is there a sheriff in that town?
No, that's Nottingham. That's the sister city in a different IP.
Love that.
Knock knock. Who's there? It's Danny, the DM of Quest Friends Forever, the podcast you are in the middle of listening to. I'm here to check in, as I always do, to give you a bit of information here in the middle, so let's get right to it, and then get back to that hot action. Let's start with the Nostalgia Network. That's a podcast network that we're on, and that we also run. That's at www.thenostalgianetwork.com, where you can find more information about our show, Quest Friends Forever, as well as the Lousy Advice podcast, where Eric Lefebvre, a.k.a. Jared, and his band Lousy Advice hang out and talk about music and bands and fun stuff, and it's all a bunch of friends having a good time. We love that. We totally stan. And there's also the Nostalgia podcast, where Eric and Jessica, a.k.a. Stephanie from our show, talk about movies and sequels and remakes and retellings and all these fun things through a queer and feminist lens. It is a good podcast to listen to. I endorse it wholeheartedly. I'm also the editor, so I'm a bit biased, but also, even if I wasn't, I would still like it, so you should listen to it as well. That's all at www.thenostalgianetwork.com. Speaking of things on the internet, we are also on social media. We are on Instagram. We are on Twitter. We are on YouTube, and yes, we are now on TikTok. The username on TikTok is @QuestFriendsForever, all one word with the number 4 in there. We'll be updating that as we go. I don't really know how to use TikTok myself. I am new to the game, but the others on the podcast do know how to do it. They are much more savvy than me with such things. So hopefully I will be getting some hot, fresh content for you to absorb in small bits. That's what TikTok is for, I think. I don't know. But yeah, we're on there now, so check us out. You should give us a follow on there and all the other ones I mentioned as well, so we can be internet friends, which is really the best friends to be. Lastly, I want to humbly ask you if you are able, or if you have the time, or if you are willing, or any of the above, to leave us a rating or a review on your favorite podcast app of choice. Those ratings and reviews are awesome, and they help a lot. I've said that every week so far on this thing. But it's true, because I've mentioned before, we are still growing. We have more downloads every month. It happened again in July, so it's pretty awesome. It's really great that you all have been doing that so far, and we encourage you to do it again, or do it more, or do it for the first time if you haven't yet. But thank you so much, and thank you, and thank you. That's it. Just thank you. That's it for me. Let's get back to it and figure out what's going to happen in this exciting episode. Here we go. See you in 2 weeks. Bye. The second day has come. You found a friendly place to stay in the community of Nottingwood, your last stop for that first day. A few people were a little hesitant, but after you did your little Q&A, they were a little bit more on board. Nobody recognized Barrymore. Barrymore's still in disguise. Jared's song and dance went over well, too. We will begin day 2, then, in the community of Canopy Heights. Canopy Heights is tight as hell because nobody lives on the ground in Canopy Heights. Everyone lives up in the trees, where you have to take, I believe they call them vinovators, little elevator situations built out of vines and branches and big leaves, pulley systems and such. It is an entire community up in the trees, the treetops. That is where everyone lives. That is where all the business happens. The ground is pretty much deserted. There's some animals, but for the most part, everyone is up top in Canopy Heights. Which means the horses are a bit of a non-starter here. So how do we approach this community?
Let me try something real quick.
Okay.
I look up to the sky and I shout,
Hi.
"Sky riding last night. Thoughts?"
It was 2 nights ago now.
We
2
can say
nights
that
in the sky?
I cast it every night.
Oh, so it's a nightly thing you're doing this.
Yeah, and then
called
every
propaganda.
time there's like Edric sucks is like with 1x and then 2x and then
Ooh,
or
like a
yeah.
countdown or a count up, I guess.
So yeah, I yell that. I'm like, "Sky riding last night. Thoughts?"
It's too high up for anybody to really respond.
So nobody responds.
No. Your voice
Okay,
just
turn to the
echoes
group.
throughout the forest.
I turn to the group and I'm like, "Yeah, let's go up."
You're trying to
Val,
make them
Val's
come to
gonna
you?
stay behind with the horses.
Okay.
You gotta make sure the horse, and
All right.
horse are doing okay. I'm gonna,
Al-
you know what? I'm gonna have a little bonding time with my buds,
Al will stay with you
basically. Okay.
to make sure.
I'll
you're
introduce
good.
I'll introduce Al to horse, and horse. The
by
horse
saying
boy.
hello a bunch of times.
hello, and
Okay.
gesturing to one, hello, and then gesturing
Right.
to the other one, hello. Basically.
So Ellie and Barrymore will go with you then. So the 4 of you. You know how to operate the vinovators. This is not exclusive to this community. Other communities have vinovators. A couple of people live in the trees in other communities, but this is the only community that is exclusive. So this is a bit
How
more.
posh.
It's not really a currency-based community, but this is a bit more posh. Yes.
Is it like HOA situation?
Yeah.
Oh,
a little
no.
bit.
with the name Heights, with Heights in the name.
Yeah,
there's
that's a double. It's a double meaning to that Heights word there.
I love that.
So.
We love a bit of a double entendre.
So Ellie, Barrymore, Stephanie, and Jared vine up. So this community they have built like platforms, basically like a sidewalk, but in the sky. So these platforms kind of function for you to walk from place to place. You arrive up in kind of the, I don't want to say commercial district, because again, it's not really a currency-based thing, but the marketplace, I guess.
Mhm.
You also know, Stephanie, you would remember that there's also a residential area up here. These people don't really come down that much unless it's to trade with other communities. But for the most part, the residences are kind of more in the back. So this is more of the social area, I guess. There are some stalls selling various things. Up here, they specialize in fragrances that they get from the hard-to-reach leaves at the top of the trees, and they make all kind of exotic potpourris. They also specialize in like nuts and protein for food and stuff. They don't really grow they don't have like pigs up here to eat. Not that I guess druids are probably vegetarian anyway.
Well, they do have cops.
They do. Well, hey.
I mean, they're probably vegan. I'm just gonna say
probably
it.
vegan. Yes. So the vendors here are hawking some fragrances. Some of them are hawking nut and trail mixes kind of situation.
What are the names of the fragrances?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. There is Benevolence is one of the fragrances. Another one is Artistry.
Okay.
And the
So nothing
most
from Paris?
popular fragrance up here in Canopy Heights is Bombastic.
Wow.
Ooh.
Okay, I know that that's like silly, but I would purchase those. Like that is actually like
No. It's okay. Good on you, Eric, for thinking about merchandising opportunities for the podcast.
I would buy. I would like you give me a fragrance that is called Bombastic, a fragrance that's called Bombastic. I'm drinking it for breakfast.
I think we're gonna work with some partnerships with some local fragrance vendors of our own.
Subscribe to our Patreon.
Be on the lookout for our Kickstarter launch pretty soon. You will have a couple of tiers that you can get some bombastic.
Yeah. We get a
appreciate
Shaggy
that.
endorsement.
Yeah.
I was okay.
Yeah.
I was singing that song in my head this whole fucking time, and I'm like, how can I slip this in there and have it just be like, oh, does Mr. Fantastic wear it? Like I've been like trying to calculate because I'm actually not a funny person. I have to think about my jokes. So thank you for thank you.
Obsessed.
So you enter the Canopy Heights.
Uh-oh. Hold on.
You enter the giggle zone, apparently.
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
She smelled too much bombastic.
Bombastic.
She got too much of the bombastic in her.
It's too fantastic.
So the Shaggy concert has just ended.
Whoa.
What?
Because
Because it's
Okay. Okay.
this
All
song,
right.
this song.
Okay. Yeah.
We caught her red-handed in this giggle fit.
I'm so funny. Wow,
Wait.
I just said that I'm not funny, and I'm so funny. Oh my god.
Wait, David,
you guys.
was that your joke? Because it wasn't me.
No, it wasn't me. No,
I genuinely love that song. I think
I
it
beat you to
is
it.
so funny and like happy bad. It's great.
So you reach the top of the Canopy Heights Marketplace District. Time to go into the standard song and dance. So I believe, Stephanie, are you giving Jared the
It wasn't
baton
me?
first? Jesus Christ. We're never
You
going to get out of this
just said
time.
song and dance. Like, how could I not? Daniel Barkley.
Is Jared
yes,
up first?
We are,
Okay.
we are doing. You know what? It's worked so far. That's what we're doing.
So, Jared, you find yourself smack dab in between some fragrance vendors and some trail mix vendors. And there are a good number of people here in this marketplace. It's early afternoon, so there are several dozen people walking around, and they all seem a little bit posh, we'll say. They're still wearing druid clothes, and they are elves, right? Elves are not very flashy people, but these are, of all the elves you've seen here in the forest, the flashiest, we'll say. A little bit extra adornments on their flora-based garb.
In world, have I heard any of these folks speak?
You
Can
hear
I
kind
hear
of
conversations?
Yeah, you hear kind of the din of conversations. Yes.
Okay. Similarly to the last place, I proclaim very loudly and overconfidently, "Oh my god, I absolutely loved the sky riding last night. Did anybody happen to know what it said?"
Okay, hang on. I got to get ready to do the same voice. The stall closest to you is a person selling bombastic. It is the primary bombastic vendor, and there's a woman at the stand talking to the vendor, and the woman turns around this woman elf, and she goes, "Oh my God, you saw it too!"
I did.
And she walks over to you, but she does the walk where her arms are kind of T-Rexed a little bit.
Oh yeah,
She
naturally.
T-Rexes over to you, and she says, "Now, what was it with the bad mouthing of Edgerick?"
I can believe it because I heard. Wait, no, shit. I'm gonna slip into. You know what I say? I say fuck him.
Edgerick or the fuck? I can't. This is hard. Okay, I automatically go.
I know.
Noun town
I know.
every time.
Yeah. All my friends and I, we all hate Edric.
This woman looks around and she kind of leans in. That's kind of blasphemous.
I'd say it's even a little bombastic.
She pushes you. Oh my God!
No, you. Oh my God!
How could you tell I was wearing it?
I love that smell.
So, was it you?
Ooh, the skywriting?
Yeah.
No, that wasn't me.
Oh,
but
all
I did
right.
love it.
It got some of the folks here all riled up.
Ooh, what'd they say?
People are PO'd.
Are they?
Yeah. They said whoever did it is going to get in big trouble.
Oh, I doubt it.
Edric doesn't come down lightly on folks who, who
Oh,
go
he's
against...
not that tough.
Oh, honey, he's the toughest.
Well, I heard that the Protector's back in town.
When you say protector, her eyes kind of go big, and she's like, I heard that too?
I saw her.
You saw her?
I saw her. Jesus.
You want to talk about eyesores?
I do want you to leave this in, me saying this. Everybody listening, I'm so sorry about all of this accent work.
I also deeply apologize.
But you know what? You love it.
You want to talk about eyesores?
You want to talk about eyesores?
Let me tell you about the new hut that the Joneses put up.
Oh, don't even get me started.
It's an
with
atrocity.
The Joneses. At best. Wait, okay. The Protector's back.
Yeah, we're a little off track here.
Yeah.
Well, between you and me, my husband is he's the big dog around here as far as the guards, right? He's the head guard up here. He told me last night as we were going to bed
Oh
that
my God.
if the Protector is back, she's going to be in a lot of trouble. And
Oh my
anybody
God.
who tries to go on her side is also going to be in a lot of trouble, sweetie. So you better be careful about what you're saying here in the square. That's all I'm saying. Honey, I don't want to get you in trouble, but I'm just letting you know.
Oh my God. All I'm saying is I loved it. I love the sky. And we're so close to it. And so I just figured maybe I had a few friends who also agree with me, but apparently I don't.
You seem nice, and I appreciate your nose for a fragrance, but I don't think you're going to find a lot of friendly voices up here with all that talk.
Okay, I'm going to dip out pretending I'm doing the accent the whole time.
Thank God.
I heard that the best smelling people actually hate Eldritch.
Also dipping out. She is starting to get a little bit weary of this. She's kind of looking around a little concerned about this hot goss that's being dished about these big matters, especially as the lead guard's wife. So she starts backing up slowly, like she says, well, in her voice that is perfect, she says, maybe you should take off, and maybe I won't say I saw you here, but might be for the best if you didn't kind of poke around here.
As Stephanie, I'm going to do a perception check on, like, checking, like, I'm doing a vibe check. Like, what's it here? Like, is anybody else overhearing what he's saying? Is this, like, is it safe for me to reveal myself, or maybe not?
So it doesn't seem like a lot of people were listening in on this conversation. It just seemed like there's other people having one-on-one conversations also in this marketplace area. But as Dran Fresher, who is that character's name, starts to back away from Jared and kind of puts her arms up like, I don't want no more of this, that draws some attention because that seems a little bit like a uncertain situation.
If I use charm person, could I convince her to spread the gossip?
You can convince her to do whatever you want if you charm her.
Okay, I'm gonna use charm person on her
Okay.
to like ease the weariness and have it kind of go back to a pleasant playfulness.
So to get her from kind of walking away with this information. She rolled a 10. So she is charmed by you. You covertly cast this spell to avoid... You don't do like a big sweeping motion, I don't imagine.
No,
it's
like, very covert. I'm trying to like keep the peace, keep things easy.
Okay. So she stops backing up in this moment, and you see her eyes kind of glaze over for a quick second, and then she kind of snaps back too, and she walks back towards you and puts a hand on your shoulder and says, "You smell better than any outsider I've ever smelled."
Oh, Duel, that's what I love to hear.
Okay, so what are you doing with her now that she's charmed?
I convince her to tell all of her friends that Eldritch sucks.
Okay.
Or to like to sow some general dissidence.
At that point too, Stephanie is going to kind of like lift up her hood a little bit so she could see her and be like, "I'm back. It's true."
So
Shh, shh,
okay,
shh.
so Dran starts to go, but then she sees you do the shush, and she goes, oh, and she covers her mouth with both hands. Oh my god, she says.
And then I'm like, so you tell all your little friends that he's going down.
She nods. Okay, he's going down. Yeah. Voices are atrocious.
I've literally never done that voice before, so I'm gonna work on it.
You couldn't tell. Same.
Should we keep poking around, or like should we leave it up to her to kind of like sow the seeds of this?
I mean, she said like not a lot of people are friendly to, or they all like Edric because I mean they all live in luxury, right? So nothing matters to them as long as they have that. So
we're upper class Trump supporters.
I don't think that we're
There
gonna.
you go.
Rather than trying to spend more time in a place where maybe I'm not as wanted, like our thing is here, our message is out. We know that they've seen the skywriting. I would say that now is a good time for us to dip out after definitely purchasing one of those bombastic.
Oh yeah, we
that's
buy
totally happening.
We buy like 4.
You buy 4
There's
bombastics?
one for each of us.
How much are they?
So
I've
it's
got
not
money.
it's not a gold based economy here in the forest.
Oh,
It's,
that's right. Well, hey, I have bone money,
And she is charmed.
and she is charmed.
Are you gonna make Dran Fresher buy them for you?
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Do you want to
steal
just
from the
give
rich.
us like 10 bottles?
I'll give you all you can carry, she says.
Oh, I love it. I love that.
Let me roll to see how many bottles of bombastic you get. Stupid fragrance I made up. The group now has 5 bottles of bombastic fragrance.
Oh, love
That's one
that.
for each of us. That's so cute.
We love that.
Oh, for Barrymore too?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. Okay.
So we scoot.
Stephanie, again, roll a d20 with advantage to see how successful this is.
14.
Okay. It goes pretty well. It turns out that Dran Fresher has a bit of influence in this community as the head guard's wife and as a
Love.
connoisseur of fragrance. If there was a Real Housewives of Canopy Heights, she would be one of them, so to speak. Which, by the way, I now will never be able to get out of my head, and I want it so bad.
I don't think we'll ever see Denise Richards again.
With Dran Fresher
As
on
one of
it,
our
I would be
leads.
so obsessed.
Side episode.
Is
bonus content coming soon.
Harris Pilton also there? Like, is
It's
she...
actually her aunt. So Harris Pilton lives in a different part of the forest, so it's her aunt. What about Renee? While our heroes descend back down the Vinovator and gossip about their favorite nature-based celebs, elsewhere in the forest, the farmer who spoke to them back in Whistleberry the previous day strolls out into the berry fields near his farmhouse. He's been busy spreading the word about the Protector's return for the last 24 hours, and is now ready to resume his work until it is time to meet the budding resistance group in Absalom. But as he steps into a secluded patch of 10-foot-tall whistleberry bushes, he is forcefully grabbed from behind by an unseen attacker. The figure puts their hand over the farmer's mouth to prevent him from calling for help, and tackles him down to the ground, restraining him in the process. As the farmer tries to wiggle free, A new set of footsteps is heard approaching through the bushes. He looks up to see Edric, a sour look on his face, walk into the scene and stand directly above him. The farmer stops struggling against the unseen attacker, and Edric glowers down at him for a few seconds before speaking. I hear you are spreading rumors about the return of the Protector. The farmer, still restrained, looks away from Edric's gaze and breathes heavily. She is only here to disrupt the peace of our forest. She abandoned you before, and she will do it again. We mustn't lose our way because of her selfish quest to absolve herself of the pain she caused. When the farmer makes no indication of a response, the leader of the forest motions for the attacker to allow the farmer to his feet. They both stand, and the farmer turns to see he had been accosted by Toolman, the leader of the Petrichor guards. Toolman gives him an arrogant wink before the farmer turns back around. If you continue to spread messages of support for this failed protector, I'm terribly afraid you will suffer some unfortunate consequences for your treasonous actions. With that, Edric taps his staff on the ground, and the orb at the top suddenly emits a wave of necrotic energy that spreads to his left and to his right. This dark, sickening force washes over the dozens of tall whistleberry bushes in this patch, draining all moisture and vitality from each one of them. The plants wither and turn black almost immediately, the entire crop now dead all around them. The farmer's eyes go wide and he begins to panic. That was half my crop. We may not be able to make it through the season now. Please, Edric, times are already tough. I need to be able to support my family. I need to be able to support my kids. Please don't do this, please. Edric looks completely unfazed by the farmer's words and steps forward to get right in his face once he has finished speaking. If you don't want to lose everything you have, you will start talking about what it is that the Protector is planning.
This podcast has been brought to you by the Nostalgia Network.
Visit thenostalgianetwork.com for more.
Don't you hate when you're watching one of your favorite movies and think, whoa, that didn't age well?
Or when you see a reboot of your childhood fave and think, did we really need this?
Honestly,
Same.
That's why we started the Nostalgia Podcast.
A podcast where we discuss the retelling or continuation of pop culture favorites as seen through a queer and feminist lens.
That's Jessica Tercero.
And that's Eric Lefebvre.
Come join us for our bi-weekly conversations about pop culture reboots centered around things like
the patriarchy,
systemic racism,
harmful stereotypes and overgeneralizations,
and really just distinguishing when people just need to sit this one out.
Listen in on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, or anywhere you get your podcasts.
You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, or YouTube.
That's Nostalgia, spelled Nostalgia. Get it?
Not nostalgia. Like nostalgia, but with an extra T, so it's like not nostalgia.
Follow us for fun, critical conversations about media. And remember, stay cute.
And stay critical.
Bye-bye.
Bye.